Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for Singapore FinTech Festival coverage is Veronica Rodriguez, Senior Vice President of the Market Assessment Unit at the Energy Market Company, to discuss how the market governance process in Singapore's electricity market has changed as a result of COVID-19. Veronica, it's great to meet you virtually. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Nice to meet you, Jill. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for the invitation.
You got it. And can you tell us more about the Energy Market Company's role in Singapore electricity or power markets?
Sure. The Energy Market Company is the market operator of the Singapore wholesale electricity market. So as the exchange of electricity trading, we provide the IT systems as well as a trading platform that is used for buying and selling all the electricity in Singapore. On top of that, we also support all the governance of the market. For this, we work with the three main governance bodies, which are the Dispute Resolution and Compensation Panel, the Dispute Resolution Councillor, and the Dispute Resolution and Compensation Panel. So we undertake the market monitoring and surveillance on one side. This is to ensure fair competition and efficient operation of the market. And on another side, we also work with the enforcement of the compliance of the market rules in Singapore. And finally, with the Dispute Resolution Councillor, we facilitate the dispute resolution process, working really closely with him and our dispute management system contacts.
And this is what I find so interesting, because when you think about ESG, the governance component, you think of publicly traded companies. So I'd like to learn more here. The pandemic has forced all companies to think and act differently. How has the market governance process in Singapore's electricity market changed as a result of COVID-19?
Yeah, you're right, Jill. So we started the journey of digitalization some time ago. So before COVID, we were already working with cloud collaboration tools for the dissemination of all information and data files. And we have in place internal knowledge management repository, as well as enterprise search tools. So all our documents, information, and data has version managed and archived electronically. With this in place, when we started with the split working arrangements back in February, half of the office was working from home, the other half was working from the office. The transition was actually very smooth. And in regards to the work with the three main governance bodies, as you will ask, we have continued the work without any disruption. So all the meetings with the panels have been conducted virtually, and all the documentation, all the enforcement letters and determinations have been done digitally. So as we speak as well at the moment, there is our first virtual dispute resolution workshop happening. And I am also very glad to see that not only this is happening in Singapore, that we are really adapting to the changes and the new arrangements on the COVID and under the new normal going forward, but also this is happening internationally. So a few weeks back, I had my first virtual meeting with the Energy Intermarket Surveillance Group, which is the group that we are members of, and we exchange issues and techniques and procedures on the best practices of surveillance of the wholesale electricity markets around the world. And this meeting had representatives from South Central North America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Asia Pacific as well. So this collaboration has gone all the way.
And Veronica, I'd like to ask you, how does data security fit into the equation when we think about the energy markets?
Yeah, this is actually a very relevant question that is important for us pre-COVID and now that we have going through the whole transition on new working arrangements. So with this, the data security and confidentiality has become really, really critical for EMC. And we already have in place information classification standards. So this is a process to define the different levels of classification of data according to the sensitivity. So we have a very stringent data handling protocol to ensure that the data and information that we manage is not leaked. For example, all our confidential documents are encrypted and they're protected before they're sent out. And additionally, on our computing devices, we also have installed a data leakage protection software that adds another layer of security to all the information and data that we managed.
And Veronica, to wrap up here, what would you say is the main lesson from the pandemic with regard to market governance?
Well, definitely, Jill, we need to continue with a growth and adaptive mindset in order to effectively continue supporting the market, continue supporting the governance process, and the digital transformation is not only happening before COVID, during COVID, but it's also accelerating under the new normal. So we're conscious of this, and we need to remain very open to the new ways of working with technology, continue our collaborations with the stakeholders, with the regulators, with the governance panels, and with our international colleagues that we also have a lot of interaction with. With this in mind, we also, as we transition into this accelerated digitalization, we need to remain focused on our purpose and make sure that we stick to our priorities to support the market.
All right, Veronica, I appreciate the insight. Thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.